Hey guys, I'm here with Force USA's C20. Now this is an all-in-one trainer, but it's so much more. It is a cornerstone piece. It is the solid foundation that you're going to build your entire home gym around. Let's go over some of the introduction specs and let's get those numbers and data out of the way, and then we're going to deep dive into every detail that this C20 from Force USA is going to offer you in your home gym. The C20, this is the first ever of its kind with a center cable design. Now these are true 3x3 uprights, 11 gauge steel with 1-inch holes. So right here we have the Freestyle aluminum trolleys, and then here at the center cable design, the upper and lower, they have the ratios. You can do a 2-to-1 or combined 1-to-1. These outside trolleys here are a 2-to-1 ratio. In the back we have the dual weight stacks. Now these come standard at 200 pounds, but you can upgrade it all the way to 300. All the attachments and all the pulleys in here, everything you see is included, is all aluminum. And here's the real kicker, right? You have this cornerstone piece in your gym. It also can be upgraded to have the sliding bench, patent pending sliding bench that allows you to do hack squat, leg press, and more. So now let's get into each section and let me show you the true details that Force USA thought about when designing this for your home. Okay, so we are gonna go from the top down, from outside in on our little quest to discover the C20 today. So first and foremost, right here, we have our black knurled pull-up handle. So if you notice, everything on the C20 is blacked out, so it's super sharp looking and it's going to fit the aesthetic of any gym. So the knurling here is great. It's not too aggressive. It's just enough so you can do pull-ups. But the really cool part is it's not bolted in. Here's what you can do. Let's say you need to have it adjusted for somebody else in your family. You're going to unscrew each of these, and then you can just pop it out, and then I can move it in or out depending on the width of the person using the attachment. So I really like that because bolted on is like pretty permanent, and this you can change based on a family member or a friend that's training with you. So here, stationed on the outside, again, they're just connected by that bolt and screw knot, are your dip bars. And I'm gonna show you how to use those as we work our way down. So moving our way down, another awesome feature that I think was very smart was locking J-cups. I don't know about you, but there's been times where I put a barbell on and I have a weight on one side and the J-cup starts slipping out. These will not. So these are meant to fit snugly. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift up and pull out. So you have to line this up with the hole. So here you can see it's got this to lock in, and it's also a tight fit because it's got guards here so you don't scratch your metal upright. So these are really awesome so that you don't scratch your machine, as well as safety first. So let's put those back in. They fit nice and snug. Pop in, and there you go. It's not gonna budge. These safety arms are built the same way. So they're meant to lock in, they're meant to be snug, they're meant for you to do a little oomph to get them in and out. And as you can see, they have this new cornerstone detail design, absolutely beautiful. So as you're looking at these, you can see that these have 1-inch holes in here as well. What could that be for? Well, let me show you. So this is where your dip bar is going to come into play. So those holes are so that you can have a versatile dip bar, because for us females, we need a much more narrow dip bar, and for a lot of guys with a bigger shoulder width, they need it to be more wide. So allow you to be customizable to everyone in your family or your training. And these are really sturdy. Since these lock in, you're not going to go anywhere, even if you weigh 300 pounds. So you can still have that ability to do dips, and it's not going anywhere. So the dip bar attachment also, you don't have to use these. You can easily put these dip bars, and let's say I didn't have my weights here because let's say I had another weight tree, I could easily put them here or here. Like, you can put them, store them anywhere. So those are the dip bar attachments, super innovative, and I like that it's customizable because let's face it, we're all different shapes and sizes. Let's move on to the Freestyle upright trolleys. So before we get there, there, from the base of the floor to the top of these pulleys here, it's 88 inches. They designed these Freestyle upright trolleys to accommodate taller individuals. We had an individual that was 6'5" that demonstrated that this was tall enough for him to use. So at its highest, this upright all the way up here is going to be 90 inches. So you're going to pull this knob, slide it down, and boy is it smooth. So before I introduce you to the Freestyle trolley here, let me also tell you this really cool detail, is that if you do have a very large arm span, or you just have a lot of width, you're just a big beefy individual, these can be moved when you assemble it and put on the outside. So if you're a person and you like to have it here and like to make your adjustments inside the rack, you can do it. But you also can flip it around so that these handles are on the outside, which gives you more space in here. How wild is that? Like, that was so cool. I haven't seen that yet. All right, when we talk about the Freestyle trolley, this is it. I have the cornerstone design here. Again, looks really sleek. So at the top of this cable pulley, we have the free motion here. But wait, there's more. I feel like I'm on an infomercial. This knob here allows it to go up and down. So you can have very high or very low. So there's 4 different settings there. And then you can move it in or out, depending on what exercise you do and kind of what angles you want to hit when you're training. So that is the Freestyle upright trolley system, and then these lock into place. So there's little knobs in there. You can have it stay, so you want it freestyle, so you can have some more motion, or once you put it in the spot you want, you can lock the pin in, and then it's not moving. So those are your 2 options, which is, right, the more options the better, because when it comes to training, you want to be able to hit all those different ankles and all those different muscle groups in different ways. So this is what's going to allow you to do that. So as I said, the trolley, it's you just pull it with your fingers. I can do it with one hand. So you can push it all the way up, or you can bring it all the way down. And as I said, this is a 2-to-1 cable ratio. So if you don't know what that means, it means if you have 100 pounds on the weight stack, it's going to feel like 50 pounds. So 2-to-1 ratio. So those are the cable pulleys. So now let's move a little bit further into the rack, and let's discuss the center cable system, that it's first of its kind. The first ever center cable point here. So you'll see right before that, you're like, oh, we're zooming in, what is this? So this is a nifty, thoughtful attachment for your rack that comes with it. So you can either use a band here to do banded pull-ups, or you can attach your suspension trainer. I know for me, I love having my suspension trainer, so that gives you that option. Force USA thought of everything. Okay, so here is our dual cables right here. So if you use them independently, so if I was only to pull on this one, it's going to be a 2-to-1 ratio. But if I use this handy dandy connector piece, and I attach both cables, now I have 1-to-1. So it means if I'm lifting 100 pounds, it's going to feel and be 100 pounds. So that's the difference between 2-to-1, 1-to-1. Moving back, we have my all-time favorite. I'm a lover of a Smith machine. So this is a 35-pound Smith bar. The total weight rating for this unit is going to be 1,000 pounds, but I wouldn't, unless you have to do a squat of 1,000 pounds to save the entire world, you're not even be able to fit 1,000 pounds on here, but the weight rating for this unit is 1,000 pounds. So you have IWF and IPF markings here on the knurling, and the knurling, again, this knurling is a little bit more aggressive than the pull-up bar, which is, I think, necessary if you're doing any kind of squat movements or overhead pressing. You want that a little bit more of friction, so nothing sliding. Here we have the bracketed solid tubing, right, guide system for safety. So Force USA, one of my favorite things about them is they're really big on safety, which for me in the home gym is important, because most of the time I'm training by myself in my home gym, and I don't have other people around me like you would in a commercial gym to spot me or to have those safety features. So Force USA definitely nails that. So we have that bracketed, like I said, just solid tubing guide rod for the Smith bar. And I'm telling you, it slides. You could do a little whee. So that's the Smith, and then they do have these safety stoppers at the bottom, so all you have to do is lift out and bring it up to where you want to set it so that you don't ever have an accident on your own. So make sure you set those safety stoppers, and I like they don't stick out a lot, so they don't take up a lot of space so that you don't have to worry about whacking yourself or your knees on them. So that is the Smith machine, and I am a lover of Smith machines. So inside the C20, we have our dual weight stacks. So standard, it's going to come to 200 pounds, but you can upgrade it all the way to 300 pounds. You can see these weight stacks here have band pegs, and these down here are magnetic, so you just can slip them in and out, and then you can feel that little, you know, you have two magnets, that little bond they have, you can feel it, and you're like, okay, that's tight, that's good. So those are the weight stacks. So at the top here, we also have the addition of a small 5-pound weight that you can slide down, and instead of making 10-pound jumps, you can make 5-pound jumps. So check this out. At the bottom, we have our diamond steel plate footrest for our low cable pulleys. So you have the adjustable foot plate back here, slides in and out, and then locks in once you decide on your position for you and your body. And then here we have the dual cables, again, 2-to-1. So if I use this, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. If I grab this handy dandy connector piece and I connect them, and now I have 1-to-1 pulley ratio. Storage has been thoroughly thought about. So as you can see here, all these are going to be aluminum, and all the attachments you see here come with it. So it has this really unique pegboard. So for example, if you want to rearrange it, all you have to do is take it out and then feed it back in. So you can really customize your attachment space to how you want it. You could also move this up and down, right? These are going to be built to your preference. These are magnetic clips. These are an extra, but they're really cool, right? You have your clips, and then you just stick them on. This attachment we're going to get to in here in a minute. It is, you know, your V-grip for all kinds of pull downs or rows. Great knurling, but there's a special feature on this we're going to show you guys here coming up. This is where we will introduce you to that sliding bench that allows you to do leg press, hack squat. But before I bring that in and show you guys how that's set up, I'm going to take you on the outside of this C20 to show you a few more accessories that this comes with. Now, mind you, it comes with a lot of things, but they've definitely allowed room to grow. So if there's other options out there that you want to add on to this, they've made that capable. So let's take a walk outside and let me show you. Landmine. I love landmine training. Here is another awesome innovative, right? It swivels, it can move with you. It's magnetic, so it stores upright. Don't store a barbell in this because it's only a magnetic lock. It's only meant to keep this up and out of your way. So let me show you the really cool feature of that, that attachment that I said has multi-purpose. So this aluminum V-grip attachment, right? You just got done, you're doing back session, you did your pull downs, you did your rows, but wait, check this out. So this has a groove in here. What is that for? I bet you guessed it. It's for the barbell. So you can sit your barbell in there. It fits. Look how nice and comfy. You don't have to worry about anything. And then you do your bent over rows. So that, I was super impressed with this barbell attachment. Like Force USA does more with less, so you don't have to have a million things all over your gym. That's what I'm saying. This is a cornerstone piece. They thought of everything so that you can really have this be the solid foundation of your home gym. Okay, let's take a walk around. So here on the outside, you can see they added that really sharp looking cornerstone detail. And then as we work our way down, right, you still have that upright where you can customize other attachments. We have that magnetic landmine that I just went over. We have the resistance band pegs here, and then down here, here's those magnetic that I was talking about that just slide in, and then once you get there, it just kind of, so good. And then on the outside, you can add weight storage horns if you'd like to store your weight here, or if you have an additional weight tree, right, weight clips. Come on back. We're just going to do a whole 360 tour as we kind of finish the introduction and then get into the sliding bench next. So you can see the cables here on the outside. You don't have anything on the inside to trip over. More weight plates on the outside. And we are coming around, we're coming home to the back, to the front, back to where we started. Now, next we're gonna go into the sliding C10 bench, and then we're going to take this thing through the workout. Yes, you're here to see like, hey, what is this C20? And I want to tell you about everything that does, but does it do it well? How does it feel? Like, I want to work out with it, and I want to tell you how it feels, because that's what I do, right? I work out with equipment. So let's keep going. Let's go. I give you the patent pending phenomenal sliding bench. So the sliding bench includes the sliding bench, the 11-gauge steel foot plate. I'm telling you, this thing is a monster. It also is adjustable, so you can have it angled, and then you can move it in and out how you want, depending on the depth you're looking for your leg press and hack squat. So it also includes a leg extension and leg curl attachment, as well as a preacher curl attachment. So this sliding bench allows you up to 600 pounds of total resistance. So that's if you get the 300 pounds on each stack. So we're going to connect this and show you exactly how it works, because this truly makes you, again, I keep coming back to it, the cornerstone of your home gym. It pretty much does everything. So this bench, it does flat and incline bench, as well as you can turn it into the leg press, the hack squat. And it has a very portable design, so it's easy to pick up down here by the handle to move around, and it stores upright. So I am obsessed with upright storage benches because it just saves so much space. Sliding bench, at first it looks intimidating, but it's really simple to use. You're going to have this movement handle on the outside, so that's how you know the orientation is right. You have the attachment here, this little hole for your other attachments is going to be to the outside of the rack. You're going to have this bench positioned inside. Down here you're going to see a support arm. It just slides in and out of the inside of the bench. This is what is going to stabilize your bench as you push away, right? So it's going to provide that force of stabilizing the bench in so it doesn't slide while you push away. I have the foot plate set. It comes with 3 sets of cables. Right now I have the cables with the green tips attached. This is for people who are about 5'10" and below, right? This is pretty much the cable you're going to use for the leg extension and the leg press. The red tipped cables are going to be for people who are generally over 5'10". And then you're going to have a set of longer black cables. These are going to be what you're going to use for your preacher curl and your leg extension attachment. So as you can see, I have the low cable from the low pulley connected to that guide that guide pulley, right? That's a green. So I have them all the way down, and then I attach it to here. This is going to be your resistance for the sliding bench. Now, let me show you a couple other features before I demonstrate it. There is a knob here. You can see it's seated inside that notch. If I pull it out and I twist it, that unlocks the bench. So the bench is going to slide. The bench is going to slide back and forth. It's currently hooked up to a lot of weight, so that's why it doesn't slide all the way back, but this bench slides the horizontal path of this. If you want it to stay stationary, you simply turn that knob so it's back into its little home. Here is the knob on top. This is what's going to adjust the backrest for your leg press. So you can have it all the way up at a 90-degree, or you can have it at any other variation that you need. Because remember, this is also an incline bench. So I can have this bench come up and adjust this as well, so I have a seat. So this is a multi-purpose bench. And then lastly, you will see that there are 3 holes down here. So those holes are going to be what I insert the hack squat shoulder pads in. So we'll demonstrate this, but these are what's going to insert in the hole for your height adjustment, so that you are doing your hack squat. So you're pressing in. So there you're just laying down. So that is the sliding bench. Now let me show you some exercises with it. So then the rest of this video, this is how it's going to go. We went through the whole entire nitty-gritty details. So now we're going to reverse it. We're going to start with the sliding bench, which we ended with our review. And I'm going to show you some exercises. Then we're going to do exercises with the weight stacks, with the Smith, and then the uprights. And that should give you a very thorough and satisfying to answer all your questions video review of the cornerstone of your new home gym. And I'm even going to address some commonly asked questions that I think you guys might have, and then we'll wrap this up. So stay with me. Let's keep going because you guys aren't going to want to miss any of this. Leg day for me is a must. Strong legs for me help me get up and down stairs, helps me get through my days when I'm walking around or on my feet a lot. So if you are really wanting to invest in your health, I say the addition of this bench is going to make a game changer, not just because you're going to have stronger legs, but it's going to transfer over into your day-to-day activities throughout life. So first, let's talk about the leg press. So I have the seat. I like it being upright. Again, as I said, you can have it angled back. And since I'm taller and I have good knees, I really want to go deep in my leg press. So I have this steel plate all the way out. So the farther out it is, the deeper I'll be able to go. So just for purposes, I'm going to put it at like 160 pounds. And again, I have the mobility, so I can kind of squeeze in here, but I do like that I can make this really deep. You don't have to squeeze in there like this. So here we are, my back is nice and supported. There are no handles here, which some people, time to time you would like a handle, so instead I can just like put my hands here or grab underneath the bench. Just don't pinch your fingers. So we go nice and deep down. As you can see, my glutes pass below my knees, so I'm definitely reaching depth, and I push out. Leg press feels great. This is, I mean, you can't get any better, an all-in-one cornerstone piece. I mean, you can do close. You can do, you can do some calf raises. So this is the leg extension. Now let me switch it over and show you a few reps with the hack squat. Okay, hack squats, the shoulder attachments. There were those 3 holes. You're gonna stagger them in. So both the silver and the black little knobs are gonna slide in. They're gonna be staggered because of the 3 holes, and they're gonna line up. So here we go. Grab on here, push off with the plate, and there I go, good hack squat. For me, I like to have my feet kind of high on the platform and close. And I can really blast the front of my legs, those quads, get some strong knee flexion there. Feels great, super smooth, and you can see I get a full range of motion, like I can come all the way down and then back up. So that's the hack squat, absolutely love it. Leg extension, leg curl. So I switched out that cable with the green tip for the black, seated it here, so connected here, looped it so it's in between, connected to the cable stacks. So it took maybe a minute to do both sides. So then leg extension. The other really cool thing is you could also put weights on here. So let's say you want a superset, maybe do some Smith squats or some leg press or something, then you can just have the weights on the weight tree, on the weight horn. So there we go, leg extensions. It's all cable resistant. So the good thing that the cable offers that I really like is that constant resistance. So you have the resistance on the way up and the resistance the way down. So that's awesome. And as you can see, this is the bench, right? So it goes, as I said, it goes flat and incline. So you could still do cable exercises with it. You could sit all the way up, and we can put it all the way down. And I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to kind of give you guys the idea. So here is, putting it down, and then I could do leg curls. So my leg curls would look like this. So now let me just show you the preacher curls, and that will wrap up the sliding bench and all the exercises and possibilities it opens up for you. Now let's do some curls. So this would be your preacher curl attachment. You can adjust the height of it. I like to do standing because it allows me to pull my shoulders back and just really focus on keeping my triceps flush on the pad. So this would be attachment number 3 that comes with the sliding bench. Now that we've gone over everything, let's train. I think that's a really nice smooth pull. Look how hard I can get a nice full extension and contraction. So another little detail is the cornerstone. They also have the cutout in here as a cornerstone, and so you can line it up to the right number. So there's a cool little detail. Oof, nice. Let's go wide. Nice aluminum handles. Let's do some pull downs. We're going to do single arm, so we're going to use a 2-to-1 on each side, and then I'll connect them and see what the 1-to-1 feels like. You can't even hear it. It was so quiet and so smooth. It's like a hot knife through butter. All right, let's adjust it to the 1-to-1. I do like this 1-to-1. That is nice. And I get a nice big reach. Reach, reach. Ooh. Awesome. Get the upgraded weight stacks. Let's say you have the 300 and 300 and you're using the 1-to-1. That's 600 pounds on that pull down. And I'm sure there's somebody out there that can do that. And you're like, well, how am I gonna have that counter force to stabilize me to hold my legs down? So all you gotta do is you bring the Smith machine all the way down, you put on the 2 squat pads, and then that way it locks your legs in so you can do heavy, and it's going to keep your legs right where they are so that you can really focus and isolate those lats for your lat pull downs. Not all weight collars are created equal. So the C20 does come with these. These are your old school. I'm not a fan of these. They lose their tension, all that stuff. I don't know. I just like, so let's just get rid of those. Let me introduce you to these really fancy ones that they just came out with. So these are like Loctite collars. So when you're working out, you can stick it on the machine. So they're magnetic. So you never have to lose them, because with these all the time, I'm like, and then it's a mess, and then I bend down, and then I step up and I hit my head, and no, I don't deal with those anymore. So here we go. So watch. So you pull it out, right? So you pull it out, you slide it on, and then it is on there. So it's magnetic, and to get it off, you simply pull and release. So there you go. Let's use those. For me, Smith machine is a must for leg day. I love Smith squats, Smith deadlifts, Smith split squats, Smith lunges, like Smith every. I feel like I'm on Forrest Gump saying, you know, all the different types of shrimp, but like split Smith squats, Smith RDL, single leg RDL, Smith sissy. I mean, there's a million things you can do with a Smith machine. I have a whole video on that stuff. So let's test this one out. Ooh, I mean, that's smooth. It's great, so I can get nice and deep, and I can power back up. I mean, that's phenomenal for leg day. So of course you could do bench seated presses, upright rows. Again, there's all kind of upper body movements, chest, but one of my favorites for the Smith for shoulders is an L sit. So an L sit, right, you're sitting in an L position, and this is great for the core and the shoulders. And for me, it's super safe because I can just rack it when I'm done. I have the safety set so it doesn't crush anything. So one of my favorite all-time shoulder exercises to do on the Smith machine. Let's do some low rows. As you can see, the foot plate's cantered. So if you want, you could sit up on a bench and you could still press off up here. I like sitting on the floor. And then I do like how these are narrow. In other circumstances where I've reviewed equipment that had a low row and they're on the outside, it was too wide for me. So I like how these are the inside of the plate. That was a really great design. So here we go. Nice smooth pull. And since I'm using them singularly, it's going to be that 2-to-1 ratio. And then if I would combine them, it would be the 1-to-1 ratio. Whew. And that's a nice pull. It's smooth. And it works just how it should. Awesome design on that. The C10 and the C20, what is the difference? Well, the C20 is a massive upgrade. It is a transformation. It is an evolutionary process. So the C10 came out and it was great, but people needed something beefier, something better. So this is the 3x3 evolutionary process, right? It's like the baby dinosaur that then grew into the big dinosaur. So this is the cornerstone of your home gym. This does more, it allows more, it has expansion options. It is its own surviving thriving ecosystem that you can just have that open concept and build on it and just make it your home gym centerpiece and then fan out from there. Well, Ashley, I like the design. I like the 3x3 uprights with the 1-inch holes, the 2-inch spacing, but there's other companies out there that make some really cool attachments. Can I use those? Yes. This open source concept allows you to use other attachments that Force USA doesn't already have. So if those companies' attachments are for a 3x3, 1-inch holes with 2-inch spacing, you can use them on this. And again, this is your centerpiece and you are creating it for your needs from that. The sliding bench, is that an upgrade I need? If you want to train legs, 100%. So yes, you can do all kinds of cable leg stuff here. You can use a Smith machine, but there's going to be some times where maybe your knee hurts or you just don't feel like squatting. Now you have the capability of doing leg press, hack squat, leg extensions, all cable based. So you're not having maybe your spine compressed that day. It gives your joints a little bit of a break because you're more horizontal. So if you are really into wanting to grow, shape, define your legs, then I definitely recommend the addition of the C10 bench. So what is the minimum ceiling height that I need to have this in my space? I don't know if it's going to fit. As we went over earlier, the height to the top of the cable is going to be 88 inches. The height to the very top of the cable trolley at its highest position is going to be 90 inches. So I would recommend at least a 97-inch ceiling, so that way you can still do a pull-up and get your full entire head and chest over the bar without hitting your head. So 97 at a minimum if you're interested in doing any kinds of pull-ups or movements above that pull-up bar. Assembly. This is a lot, right? You're like, wow, I want that, but what is assembly like? So assembly is going to take about 5 hours. I definitely recommend you invite your friends over and be like, hey, you help me set this up. You know, I'll let you use my gym. So have fun with a friend, help them set it up. The cool thing is they have this going to be shipped in groups. So the assembly process is going to be very organized. So they have all the parts in certain boxes grouped together, so you work on it in stages. Everything's numbered, everything's there's pictures, there's numbers, so everything is very straightforward on how to build this. So at least 5 hours. If you get a friend, you might be able to do it sooner. If you are not savvy at building things, they do offer a white glove service where you can have them deliver it and set it up for you when you order it, and that's always a very awesome option, so then you don't have to worry about building it or you know, the stress of finding friends to help you. What all is included? You went over a lot of stuff. Okay, so the things that are included. You have the 200-pound standard weight stacks for the cable. You have the 35-pound Smith bar, and you have all the aluminum attachments. If you would like extras, stuff that is not included is weight plates, and this machine is designed for standard Olympic plates. Barbells are not included, and neither are benches. So you'd have to get a bench, barbells, and weights separately. Shipping, how does this arrive? Well, the shipping weight is going to be about 1,300 pounds, and it is going to arrive via LTL freight as 2 large wooden crates. Lastly, and probably most importantly, is the question, why this piece? Why should I care? What does this piece have to do with me? Well, I'm going to tell you, I have reviewed a lot of fitness equipment. This is what I do, and I've also tried out a lot of things. I've been in the space a long time. This has been the most innovative, well thought out design by engineers who lift. So they've designed it so it is like a cornerstone piece. It's compact. It's going to fit in a corner. It's customizable. You can do everything you've wanted. Like, it really is many things in one. You can do your Smith squats. You can do your cables. It's accessible to people of different heights and weights and ranges and fitness levels. You could be an elite athlete and train with this because it's so beefy, or you can be a beginner athlete or a beginner workout person and grow into it. So this is kind of like the piece for everyone. It really is the cornerstone of your home gym. It really is made for people who lift. It's made for home gym communities. It's made for people who want the best bang for their dollar. I mean, Force USA has been around a long time, and their name speaks for itself, right? They're not one of these pop-up companies that has been around for a year or two and just really trying to push things on you. they guarantee their stuff. They come with a lifetime structural warranty. They come with free shipping. They have sales all the time. Like, they put their money where the mouth is. So you invest this in your health and your fitness. You invest your strength so that throughout the years you are strong, you are capable, you can run, you can play, you can spend time with your family, and you can take care of yourself first and foremost. And this is going to allow you to do that. And if you're like, well, I really want to get into fitness, I don't know what I'm doing, they have a free app where they have workouts, they have videos, they can show you everything you've wanted to know. And if you get stuck on anything, they have amazing customer service. You can call in, and if you don't know how to set up the sliding bench, and if you watched a video and you're still confused, they will set up a video chat with you and step by step go through it so you understand exactly what you're doing. I have not met another company that does that. So that is why you should care about Force USA, why you should care about this product, and why this may be the very best fit for you and your family. So let's go over my final thoughts and what I think. I think this is absolutely amazing. I think if I had space, I would definitely put this in my gym. I'm probably going to go home and try to map out, like, hey, what can I move around or sell so that I could put this piece, because I would love a Smith machine. I do have a rack at home that's a rack and cable system, but it is nothing like this. It doesn't have the dual pulleys down below that I can connect like that, and the pulleys up top, it's just not this. Right? It is not this customizable. It is not this well thought out. It doesn't look this sharp. Like the double black, that is amazing. It doesn't have, mine at home doesn't have a Smith bar. This has a Smith bar. This has the Freestyle carriages. This has adjustable handles. This has dip bars. This has an accessory wall so you can hold things. Mine doesn't. This has dual weight stacks. This has a sliding bench. This has everything you need to build the start of your home gym. This has everything that you could actually want. If you are talking about building a home gym and you don't know where to start, this is it. This is your cornerstone piece. This is the foundation. And then you might want to get a few things here and there, because hello, welcome to the home gym world, where you start and then you just keep finding and growing. But you have to start somewhere. And if you're going to start somewhere, start here. So thank you for tuning in, watching this in-depth review. I appreciate all your support. I appreciate you, your comments and your likes. So please go ahead, hit that subscribe, hit that like, leave me a comment, leave me a question. It really helps me get genuine, authentic content out to you guys. I appreciate all your support. And if you're interested in anything Force USA, you can use code Ashley or the link in the description, and it's going to give you a 5% discount. And that just really helps me able to go on these trips, able to produce these videos, because I do everything in-house. I edit, I film, I travel. So thank you again. You guys are awesome home gymmers. I'll see you guys next time.